Hey guys, welcome back, it's Matt here, and today we're going to be taking a look at a smartphone, but it's going to be a bit different to usual because this is in a much lower price bracket than usual. I normally feature high-end or even mid-range devices, but this one is really low. So this is $105, it's called the X-Gotti Note 10, and yes, it does feature Note 10 in the name, which is a bit strange. Samsung might want to take a look into that. But this is bigger than the Note. This is 7.2 inches and it does price in at $95 now with a discount. It's £72, which is super cheap for a phone, let alone a smartphone that's of this size. This is just insanely huge, especially when jumping from a Note 20 Ultra or an S20 Ultra or even an iPhone 11 Pro Max. This is huge, like unbelievably big for a smartphone and probably uncomfortable to some extent, especially if you have smaller hands. But taking a look at the actual build quality, it's completely made of plastic. I mean, that doesn't really surprise me considering the price is so low. They probably can't even afford to use anything else but plastic. But yeah, the whole body is plastic, the camera module is plastic, the volume rocker is plastic, as well as the power button, and the front is actually glass. In terms of your storage options, it's extremely low. It's 16, 32, or 64 gigabytes. And you can also go ahead and get expandable storage with a SIM card slot, or you can go ahead and opt for that dual SIM version. But I personally would like the micro SD card slot so I can expand, and the expandability is up to 64 gigabytes. So it's not too bad. So taking a look inside, there's a 1.3 gigahertz quad core processor, but don't take any notice whatsoever of what's on paper. I'm going to actually tell you how this performs because budget smartphones always say they've got this ridiculous high power processor and they don't. But my experience has been okay with actually using this. It's definitely not the best screen in the world. It's a 7.2 inch 940 by 480 screen, so it's super low resolution. Everything's quite pixelated. It's 191 ppi. And yeah, you can definitely see the pixels. You can't watch HD or even 720p videos on this, which kind of sucks. So 480p is all you're gonna get. And it's 7.1 inches. This is really Minecrafty. Very pixelated. But realistically, when you're looking at it from further away or you're watching something or just using this daily, you don't need it to be the best quality screen, and that's not what you're paying for. You're paying for a cheap device, which pretty much just gets the job done, and it does that. It's very reliable. It's pretty fluid when using it. It's definitely just a little bit choppier than your standard smartphone experience. It's got a little bit of stutter to it, but it doesn't really have much lag, and I tried some games out and things do sort of slow down a bit, but it doesn't really freeze much, which I did expect actually. I did expect it to freeze. I mean, it's only like $90, but it doesn't. It actually works, and I was actually surprised at that. Now, it comes out of the box with Android 9. I didn't find personally any apps that weren't supported, so for me it was all good, but it would be nice to see an update. Taking a look at the software, it does have some bloatware. The camera app's definitely cringy. It's cringy. Let's just say it's cringy. Looking at it, it looks kind of stock-ish, but it does run some sort of Chinese launcher, which I swapped out for Nova Launcher, which was pretty easy. My only real gripe with this phone was that really just all the software UI was so huge. All the apps I downloaded, everything was just massive, and that's pretty much due to the low resolution with the big screen. It just means that everything's blown up really ridiculously, and overall I guess it's good for people who are young, like children using it, or if you're older, then yeah, it would be really good. But for me, I don't want things huge. I pretty much swapped everything out. The keyboard wasn't that good, so I changed it for Gboard. The notification tray was extremely huge and weird, so I did swap that out for Power Shade. Link will be down below to that, but that just simply makes it a little bit more stock. Basically, I just tried to make this phone as much stock as I could. But even when I've had all the launcher and the keyboard and Power Shade running, the experience was still usable, so I was happy with that. In terms of like actually using applications though, when you're opening games up, it's definitely going to struggle with high performance games like Fortnite or Call of Duty or anything like that. But it will actually work if you have all the settings cranked down and everything like that. It's still going to be able to go ahead and play them. It just won't be a very good experience, so I wouldn't recommend you pick this up for gaming. Maybe simple games would be okay, like Battle Royale, but FPS games, I would stay away. RAM management isn't very good either. There's 2 gigabytes of RAM. Pretty much when I'm switching between simple apps like web browsers and calculator, it actually goes ahead and like flickers when I click it, so I think it's refreshing. But yeah, don't expect this to be like really good at multitasking. It's good at one task at a time. Something else really unexpected was that it has 3600 milliamp hours for the battery. That's quite small, and especially considering this is such a big screen, I thought this is gonna die quick. But boy was I wrong. This definitely is good at battery life. It's got a low performance processor, not much RAM, a low resolution screen, and it doesn't get too bright, so it doesn't really use much battery power. I found myself getting 5 or 6 hours of screen on time, which definitely is pretty good. But something really interesting was that when I left the phone idle for like 8 or 9 hours, it actually killed the phone almost. It was down to 5%, so it dropped 95% over the period which I wasn't using the phone. So yeah, stay away from this if you want good standby time, because this is definitely not that. But yeah, battery life when you're using it isn't too bad, and also you get swappable batteries, so you can go ahead and take this out, buy another one and put it in. Obviously you want to buy the other one before you take the battery out. Yeah, that's it. Something quite crazy is this supports 4G and Wi-Fi calling. 4G is definitely not 4G like you would expect, but it's better than 3G, and it's better than most of the budget phones I've tried. If I get like 50 megabit download on my S20, then I tend to get like 30 on this phone. So it's usable. It's definitely not ridiculously slow, but I guess again, it's not the most powerful chip inside of this, so you're gonna save power, I guess. Maybe that's an upside. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the cameras. So there's obviously cameras on the front and back. They're both 5 megapixel. I think they're pretty much the same camera. They're definitely not the best, but they are usable. The video is not even HD. They are really, really low quality, but they do have okay results. I'll show you on screen right now some pictures from the back camera. And I'll also throw in a little clip so you guys can go ahead and see what the back camera performs when you're actually videoing. Okay, this is a quick video using the X-Gaudi Note 10. So it's probably going to look a bit blown out. Quality is definitely not going to be that good. But I'll let you guys decide for yourself. The autofocus and the overall exposure and everything like that. But it's definitely not too bad considering the price. Okay, so now we're done with the back camera. Let's take a look at the front camera, which I think is the same, but let's go ahead and show some selfies which I took with the front camera and also a little video. So this is the front-facing camera. Definitely not the best in the world, but let me know what you think about these cameras down below and whether you'd actually pick up this phone. So yeah, as you can see, they're not the best. The dynamic range is sort of non-existent. They're a bit overexposed, kind of over-sharpened, and yeah, they don't look the best. You're not going to be wanting to take pictures with this if you're some sort of pro photographer, or even if you just like pictures in general. You're going to use this pretty much just if you have to. So if you need to take a picture of a document, or you need to take a picture of something, or I don't know, you want to take a selfie once in a while, then yeah, I guess it's passable. People are probably going to judge you if you put your Tinder profile using the front-facing camera of this. But yeah, that's pretty much all I'm going to say in terms of the hardware. Software is not great. It's definitely cringy, like I said. It's just kind of old. It has like a retro sort of vibe. It reminds me back of like the first generation of Android, and it's cringy. A bonus of this is that it has a headphone jack, which is really cool. However, the headphone jack is on the top, so you do have to have like the cable dangling down. It does come with a screen protector. However, my one was put on squint and it was just weird, so I just took it off. It just had a really cheap feel to it and it was kind of like sticky. So yeah, I took that off. There was some residue left. I cleaned it up. It looks so much better without a screen protector. It does come with another one in the box if I do want to go ahead and experience that again. Probably not. Oh, something else I never mentioned was the charging time. So you get like 5 or 6 hours screen on time. That's pretty good, but it does take 3 hours, a little bit more actually, to go ahead and charge up, which is crazy. This took ages to charge up. It's got slow charging, it's micro USB. I know it's cheap, but come on, micro USB 2020? And obviously there's no fingerprint on this. You can go ahead and use just the standard passcode key to unlock it, or it does have face unlock. I probably wouldn't trust it, but it's there. The speaker is pretty garbage. I'm not gonna lie, you probably wanna connect some Bluetooth speakers or something else, or just don't use them full stop. And in terms of the earpiece speaker, yeah, it's okay. it gets the job done and it's not too bad. It was actually hearable, so I did call my other phone, and yeah, I could have a conversation with this device. That's pretty much all my opinions about this device, so let me know what you think of it down below. But I would sum it up with, if you want a phone that's usable, you don't care too much about the camera, but you need a camera once in a while to scan in a document, and you want something under $100, then I can't really see anything much better than this. I've tried a lot of budget phones, and this is pretty decent. It gets the job done. It doesn't do it elegantly. If you want something high quality, you want some HD video playback on YouTube or anything like that, you're going to want to spend more money, but it does get the job done for the price point. But it does have an actually usable experience, and there is glass on the front, so it's definitely not the worst phone in the world, and especially for the price, I'd put it quite high in terms of a budget smartphone. Probably give it about a 7 out of 10 for a budget phone, so that's being generous. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, guys, and peace out.